Hello everybody, welcome to my tutorial. We're going to make a weaved ring. It's going to be super cute. We're going to go ahead and choose a silver wire and a 18 gauge. And then we're going to cut those about 10 centimeters. Then we're going to use a gold 26 gauge, which is 4 millimeters, to do the weave with. I like the way that the silver and the gold goes together, but with that being said, you'll be able to see how the weave looks by me using the two colors together. I'm going to go kind of fast here at the beginning, but as we go through the video, I'm going to get as close as I possibly can and show you how to do this. I might be going in and out of frame just a little bit because I really don't have that done as good as I'd like to have. But hopefully you'll be able to tell what I'm doing and you can kind of practice. You can also save this video for reference. Don't forget to subscribe and to follow. Let's do this. I know there's a whole lot of people on here teaching wire wrapping, jewelry making, tying knots, and all that good stuff. When I first started doing this, I thought, what are you doing? There's just so many that are so talented out there. But then I gave it some thought and said, you know what? Go for it, girl. Do what you love to do. Teach what you want to teach. This isn't a competition. So I hope y'all enjoy this. Please don't forget to subscribe, follow, like, all that good stuff. And now I'm going to get myself a little closer to you guys. As you can tell, I'm kind of going out of frame, but hopefully y'all will figure it out. If not, you can always leave me a message and I will do my best to help you. If you need materials, please let me know. I'll do my best to make you a kit if you would like to have a kit. Also remember that I will probably link Della at the bottom of my video. She does sell the DIY materials. I just don't sell the materials. I do put together the kits. It's because if I had to supply the materials, I don't think I'd have enough room to carry all the products. So let's continue. I'm planning on slowing down here just a little bit so y'all can see. I just wanted to get a little bit worked in. So you can see this beautiful weave. It makes a beautiful ring. I'm not going to be able to complete the ring on this video, but we will have part 2. This will be continued. So in order to see what part 2 is going to be like, you need to subscribe and you need to follow. So thank you in advance. I think the gold and silver looks so pretty together, but everybody has their own personal preference, and everyone has their own opinion, and they do belong to you, and mine belongs to me. Look at me. I never do make sense, do I? Anyways, I'm going to kind of lead you through this just a little bit. We just wrap the first 2, then you wrap the middle one, then you wrap the last 2, then you'll wrap it 2 times. Then you're going to wrap it 5 times on that very right now. So yeah, you're going to go into the second one there. And then you're going to wrap the last 2. And then you're going to wrap the first one 5 times. Make sure you're using nylon pliers so you don't damage your wire. Take your nylon pliers and kind of push in on it because that puts them a lot closer together. And it straightens it up really, really well. As you can see, it is a beautiful weave. I think it's a very pretty weave. And you should see the ring when it's finished. I think it's gorgeous. So let's get y'all started again. So you've done your 5 on the first. You want to wrap one time the first 2. You're going to go between that first one. And you're going to wrap the 2 middle ones. Then you're going to wrap the last 2. You're going to wrap it 2 times fully. Then you're going to go back to the last 2 and wrap 1 time. Then you'll go to the 2 middle ones and wrap those. Then you will go to the last 2 and wrap those. And then you're going to wrap that first one 5 times. And basically all you got to do is just repeat the process. The main thing I like about this wrap is the front and the back look exactly the same. Normally when you do a weave, the back side will look different than the front. But this one, I love the way that they come out exactly the same. So the more you practice, the better you'll get. Keep your fingers kind of close and sort of not pull the wire completely away from you, because when you do that, it's a little bit too loose. You want to try to keep that tension about the same. Now you can see I'm kind of pulling the wire, but I'm also taking my thumb and I'm holding it very secure as I'm pushing it in to the other wire. I'm going to go about 6 inches before I wrap it to make a ring. I may even need a little bit less. Depends on the size of the ring, because you want the middle of it to be kind of open, because you'll be working with that next. And what I mean by that is where you attach the stone. This is going to have an opening with all those wires. Don't let all those wires scare you, because they will. You'll see. Now you can see where I'm wrapping the first 2, the middle one, the last 2. Then I'm wrapping it 2 times. Then I'm wrapping the last 2. Then I'm wrapping the middle 2. Then I'm wrapping the first 2. And then I'm doing 5. Now there's probably a lot of you that are viewing my videos that probably already know how to do this technique. But it's fun once you learn how to do it. Don't get discouraged. The first one, you should see my first one. Lord have mercy. You couldn't tell it from a stick. Such a mess. But practice, practice, practice. That's the best advice I can give you. Here's a nice close-up. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? Now, even though we're using gold and silver do go together pretty. As a matter of fact, 2024, the jewelry fad is where they're mixing the golds and silvers together. Earrings that hang on the shoulders, flower earrings, chokers. That's the jewelry fad here in 2024. Might not have said that right, but y'all got to remember that I have my own way of speaking. Probably sometimes isn't very clear, but I do my best. And you got to remember that we're not for everyone. So we're going to go ahead and wrap that on our pole or our dowel rod. You can get a dowel rod and some ring sizers and make your own dowel rod if you need to, but I got mine from Miss Della. You're going to see me push this in. Now, I need that opening to be a little bit more right between where the weave is. I need that to be a little bit wider. And we're going to have a few little oopsies, but when I continue my video, our next video will be us adding a stone to this beautiful band. Isn't that a beautiful band? I just love it. I'm conceited. Yeah, it's mine. I love the way I do my work. So I'm conceited. But I have seen some very beautiful work here on YouTube, TikTok, Facebook. There are some very talented ladies out there. I promise you this. The reason I'm doing this is because I saw a little gap. I can't stand to see a gap, so I had to pull it back out and fix that. It was driving me crazy. I don't like my things to be whacked out. I got to go back and try to fix it. If I can't fix it, it hits the trash. You know what I mean? I'm telling you, that is a beautiful band. And it's very strong. Believe it or not, we use soft wire, but that is a very strong band. We are going to go ahead and nip that little piece where we started at the beginning. You can nip that halfway through if you want to. It's a personal option. But I kept on going and decided to do it now. Anyway, this is where you can kind of figure out what size you're going to be making. If you're going to be making it smaller, you will have to remove at least one of the weaves to make it smaller, because I said before, you've got to have that middle section kind of open. It can't be that close together like that. It's going to have to be like, let me push it down just a little bit here. It has to have at least that much of an opening where I can add the stone. So I think this one here's, it's going to be a size 9 unless I remove one of the weaves, and I may do that before I do my next video on adding the stone, just to make it a little bit smaller. I can make any size anybody needs. So thank you so much for joining me today, and I appreciate all this, everybody that subscribes, everybody that gives me likes, and everybody just hear from me. Your love and support means the world to me.